Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Trackside Broadcasting. I hope as everyone has had a great week so far, and now it's time to finish it off with some great racing action here tonight. As always, before we get underway, I'd like to thank the Tanzo Racing Group for letting us bring you all the action this season, and to our sponsors, Valhalla Liveries and us here at Trackside Broadcasting. Also, make sure to share the YouTube link to friends and family so more people can support your favourite drivers. We are now on race 8 of 8 tonight, the grand finale, which will be taking place here at Navarra over in northern Spain. It's been an awesome season so far. We've seen many incredible battles, some crazy races, and seen some immense skill from every one of these drivers. And all it comes down to is these next two races taking place this evening. But before we begin, joining me in the booth, as always, will be my co-host and right-hand man in broadcasting, a man who brings all the energy and a great sense of humour too. So let's get him in here with me and say our hellos. Good evening, Gaz. How are we doing today?
Good evening, Jimmy, or should I say actually, hola, Jim, buenos noches, gracias por infamente. Thank you for the invite, mate. There we go. We're in Spain. I'm going to get a bit of Spanish in there. I don't get to do it all that often anymore. No, I am great this evening, my mate. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing absolutely fabulous. Thank you for asking.
Very, very, very good to hear, mate. Like you said, we are on race of eight, 8 of 8 tonight, the season finale, Jimmy. I'm really been looking forward to this race all day today. Well, since the start of the season, because I absolutely love to see how it finishes off. The championships are quite tight, but before we get down to all that, we are at Navarra, like you says. It is a brilliant track, a great one to finish off with. What are your thoughts on tonight's track, Jimmy?
Oh, I absolutely love Navarra. It's a great track for side-by-side racing, and that's exactly what you want. It's lovely and wide. It's the corners are kind of fast and flowing, but there's got some like really heavy braking zones, which allows you people to get side by side, fight for position. Exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, it really gives you that chance to have some real proper racing out there, doesn't it? I've said it before about other tracks. I'm going to say it again. It is a proper racing track. It gives you all the room out there to get it all done, to have them fights and those scraps out there. And hopefully, it's going to provide us with two very interesting races this evening, Jimmy, to finish it all off for the season. But it's a bit of a sad one, isn't it, Jimmy? The end of the season and all that. But there is a new one, obviously starting in a couple of weeks' time on 21st of June. We will put that in the description and we'll put that in the comments for you guys. And thank you, by the way, for joining us this evening. As always, 21st of June, Jimmy, we're going to be doing the Fast Eight with these 86s. I know you know what's coming up in that one, so it's one definitely to look forward to. I'm sure you'd agree.
Oh yeah, I mean the next season has got some absolute belters in it, and from a viewing standpoint should be incredible. From a driving standpoint should be equally as incredible. Little poster up on the screen for you now, so you can see all the tracks that are upcoming and all the information about it. So if you are looking to race in a season over the next few weeks, please sign up and join us here at Tanzo Racing Group.
Yeah, we love having you guys join us watching along, but we'd love it even more if you were out there on track as well, showing us really what you can do. Or if you know what you can do, show everybody else. Please do sign up. Guys, remember that starts on the 21st of June in a couple of weeks. Link in the description and in the comments for you. But Jimmy, before we can see them all driving around at the moment, we've got our qualifying going on at the moment, our closed qualifying. Shall we let everybody know for the final time just how it works this season, and we'll take a look down trackside and see what's going on?
Yep, so this is an 8-week series. We're on race 8 of 8 tonight here at Navarra. Each weekend we'll open with a 30-minute practice for the drivers, and then we'll cut to them in qualifying like we are now with a 15-minute lone qualifying. So the drivers are out on track. They've got 15 minutes to set 3 laps, and their best lap will be their qualifying time. Then we have a brief. No, we go straight into the race. My apologies, and we got a nice 20-minute race for you, and then we got a brief 5-minute break for the drivers, and then we're on to the second race of the evening after the 5-minute break, which will be a 25-minute reverse grid order race. So the drivers will be starting in the reverse finishing order of the first race. So yeah.
Oi. Absolutely love that reverse grid there, Jimmy, because it really does. It can throw a cat amongst the pigeons sometimes when you got the fast drivers starting at the back, doesn't it? And just on that one as well, remember these guys will get one fast repair. So if you see them pull up a little meatball flag, they've got too much damage out there. They've got to go in. They can get a little fast repair, get themselves in, get themselves out to sort only the damage out. It won't impact their tires, won't impact their fuel, and gets them back out there racing. But Jimmy, with all that said and all that's done, we've got just under 10 minutes left. Shall we jump down to trackside and have a little look at how everybody's getting on out there this evening?
Absolutely. So let's take a little look at where everyone's at the moment. So we're about coming up on the halfway point through qualifying soon. So we've got Rick Wishon leading the way currently with a 153.4. And we've got Andrea Magli just behind him, with Lee Martin a little bit far behind him as well. Robert Barber leading the way in the AMS, currently in qualifying with a 154.7. So sorry, Rick Wishon a 153.4. Robert Barber is a 154.7. So bit of a gap there, but we should expect to see that close up very, very soon.
Well, Jimmy, I'll tell you what, it's one of those. The gaps, I reckon these lads they're gonna want to close them as quick as they can tonight. Because like I said, we're in week 8 of 8. We're gonna be crowning our champions after these races this evening. Rob Barber leading the way in the AMS, but he's got Joseph Lopez and Casper Roos both sitting right behind him in the points there. So anything could happen there, and we know how good those guys out there on track. You've got Lee Martin leading the way in the pros with Andrea just behind him, and Jack still just about in the mix himself as well there to depending on what happens tonight in the races. So it really is going to be real interesting to see what happens. And talking about one of the drivers out there, if you look in the comments, Jimmy, we are of course joined by one of our regulars. We got Marshmallow. Good evening, Marshmallow. Good to see you back with us. And Woo, let's go. I completely agree with you. Been looking forward to this one all week long. And we've got Paul's daughter with us again. Good evening, Paul's daughter. We are hoping that he has a good race as well and gets that podium and a good race for everyone overall. I absolutely love that. She's wishing everybody good luck, but we know who she's truly backing there, and that's going to be a dad. That's going to be Paul Brown, who you can see out on the camera right now. And Jimmy, a little word from I believe someone that you may actually know, but he can't join us. Have a word with him, will you?
I know. He works on a Sunday. Ye old geek. Yeah, absolutely great lad, that guy. But yeah, it's a shame he can't join the season because he is a very, very quick racer.
No, it's definitely one of them. We might have to see about putting on a one time. I know they happen every so often, but maybe getting him on that if we can do it on a different day, or I don't know, maybe a different league because we do race different leagues. Obviously, exciting one tomorrow, Jimmy. GT3 new season, season 12 starts tomorrow here on the channel as well. That is something I'm really, really looking forward to.
Yeah, it's also a Tanzo Racing Group series, the GT3 series. Yeah, you don't want to miss that one as well.
No, it's going to be a brilliant one. So, guys, join us tomorrow evening from about 7:45, and we will bring you all of that action here on Trackside from the Tanzo Racing Group. If you don't get enough racing action for tonight, but Jimmy, with just over 5 minutes to go, Rick Wishon is leading the way still with Jack Veazey just behind him and Andrea in third. The podium spots for the pros. Phil Giles now sitting at the top of the AMS in P5, P1, obviously for the AMS, with Rob Barber now in P2 and Denam Bronze up into P3. It could really all change in the championship tonight, couldn't it? And these guys, look at the timings, look how close they are together.
Yeah, I mean it really is anyone's game, this championship. So best performances I think are expected tonight, and you can see getting very close up at the front too with qualifying, but it is a very long, well, with lots of long straights here. The draft should help drivers keep bunched up, and like we said, it's a great track for racing side by side, so it could get very interesting. And yeah, you can
We
just
re-
see these with these long shots. Sorry, just quickly, just how
yeah.
wide that track is. You can really see you can go almost like 6 or 7 wide, and
No,
it's
no,
a
I'm gonna chime in on that one, Jimmy. It is a really beautiful track, Navarra. I've raced it a couple of times myself, obviously on iRacing. It is absolutely fantastic. Not necessarily in the Toyotas, so this is going to be real interesting to see how they get on around here. 16 corners, 4.3k a lap. Circuito de Navarra in northern Spain. It just rolls off the tongue, and it sounds like the perfect place to hold the season final finale tonight. It is a great one. And Jimmy, it's a relatively new track as well. It's only been with us since 2010. So it's definitely got some years ahead of it with how much of a great track it is now. I certainly expect it to change and keep going over the years to come.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising for like a new track, just kind of how you expect with new tracks them to look kind of not as kind of traditional and not to be as racy and kind of be a bit more of that street track kind of feel. But no, I think yeah, Navarra does a very good job of
Well, well,
being
it's
like a
funny.
true racetrack in my
No,
opinion.
it's funny that you should say that actually, because I think it was a couple of years ago. I think it was around about 22, 23. I might be a year or so out on that one, so don't quote me on that one. But they did heavily redesign this one. They gave it a new massive 600 feet, 650-meter section of the track. It made some great racing, picked up the speed of absolutely everybody going around there. It really, really made it such an iconic, great track out of Spain. We all know the popular ones out there. We all see them, like the Catalunya one, sorry, for the F1. We all know it. Hey, my Spanish isn't perfect, don't you laugh. But no, it's definitely a great track and a very very emerging one as well. And we do like to race around it. I know you like it.
Yeah, I'll take it over the new Mad Ring any day of the week. But yeah, no, it is. Yeah, it makes for phenomenal racing, and yeah, so 12 minutes into qualifying, I think we're seeing the last of the laps at the moment. So currently leading the way is Jack Veazey with a 53.4, just 5/1000ths of a second ahead of Rick Wishon at the moment. So yeah, very, very close between those front runners. Phil Giles and Robert Barber as well, extremely close on qualifying as well. Those are your leads in the AMs. And yeah, just waiting on Paul Brown to see if he can set a good lap as well, see if he can get back up with the rest of the pros. But I imagine, I mean, some people have race pace, some people have quali pace, and yeah, Paul Brown's definitely one of those ones with race pace, so we expect to see him right up the front in no time.
Well, I've got to agree with you on that one, Jimmy. Race pace and quali pace, because as I'm sure you'll attest, me and you did a little bit of racing on something a little bit different yesterday, and my quali pace was absolutely awful. But I didn't have too bad of a race. I think you could admit that one. But qualifying near the back of the pack each and every single time, but absolutely no issue out on track. Yeah, it's funny to say when it's talking about you, but I'm sure Paul will be wishing his quali pace will be picking up those to get himself back up there with the rest of the pros. Like I said, it is really close in the leaderboards for that. Rob Barbaro sitting up at the top for the AMs, Lee Martin top for the pros at the moment. So there's a lot to do. Lee Martin, though, currently leading the championship, sitting in P4 at the moment. Andrea, Rick, and Jack Veazey. Andrea and Rick are close to him in the points, Jim. So he's going to want to be improving his pace out there as well.
Yeah, like we said, it is close between everyone, and it is anyone's game. So everyone's got to be putting on their best performance this evening. And yeah, you want to get that championship win.
No, you really, really, really do. And they've only got just over a minute now to go of qualifying. So any laps that they're on now is going to be it for qualifying, I reckon. So it'll all be down to what they can do in the actual races. So it's going to be real interesting to see what goes down tonight, especially how close these points are. At the moment, Jim, I have no idea who's going to be walking away with the crown in each of these classes.
No, I think we're gonna have to wait until the race to kind of get a good estimation on that one. But then again, as soon as that reverse race comes round, it changes up absolutely everything. So yeah, it's difficult to tell. I mean, it's a different skill set for a reverse grid race because you kind of have to work your way through the field, fighting against people that you wouldn't normally fight against. And yeah, it's all good starting from the front and then driving away. But then when you've got to work your way through the field, like I said, different skill set. So
No, it really is. And then we've seen what can happen, haven't we? Because anything really can happen. Take a little bit of a wobble, cars coming together. We've seen a couple of big crashes at the start of the races, so it's going to be really interesting, Jim, what happens.
just addressing Andrea there, just drifting about and having a good time at the end of qualifying. But that is qualifying done. So we're going to go through the leaderboard order and we'll show you who is starting where. So I believe we start off with Jack Veazey leading the way in first place, followed by Rick Wishon, 5/1000ths of a second. Absolutely nuts. Then we've
So
got
close.
Andrea in third, followed by Lee Martin. Phil Giles leading the way in the AMs in qualifying and fifth place overall, followed by Robert Barber. Then we've got Dinan Bronze, Paul Brown, Joseph Lopez, Casper Roost, and then John Johnson. That's like your 11 drivers on track this evening.
There you go, 11 cars out there, a couple more than we've had the last couple of weeks. So no, it should make for a really interesting race tonight there, Jimmy. I am looking forward to this one. I really, really am.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how the drivers get on with this one because, like I said, being in such a wide track as well, it's a good side by side track, but it is hard to defend. So we'll have to see how they get on with that one as we're waiting on two more drivers to line up on the grid before we are underway. There's one more.
Yeah, one more car waiting on Jimmy. Then it's a little case of five lights on and away we go for the first race. Remember, two races this evening. First race being a 20-minute race, slight 5-minute break after that, followed by a full reverse 25-minute race to round off our season.
Yeah, so we're just waiting on Jack VZ at the moment. He's only got a few seconds left before the race gets underway, so hopefully he can join. Unless he's going to start from the pits, we'll have to see what happens there. But
Well,
everyone else is already.
We know Jack is fast, but chasing the championships from third, he's I don't think that's a very wise decision from him there, starting from the
No.
pits.
Oh, there we go.
There he
He's
is.
lined up
No,
on the grid now.
he's joined us now. So there we go, Jimmy.
All right, so that is one red light, two, three, four, five, and away we go. Very quick start for that. Caught Lee Martin a bit out there. Robert Barber getting a bit of a dodgy start. Paul Brown getting an incredible start there as well. I think Robert Barber got held up by Lee Martin, not getting off the line as quick as the rest. Jack Veazey currently leading the way with Andrea side by side with him. So close. Let's see how they handle turn one with those cold tyres, and it's a very sketchy turn one to drive, so that hopefully they can keep it together. As Jack Veazey tracks a little wide, Andrea tracks a little bit wide as well, gets more speed around the outside, and they are off.
What an interesting start to that race there, Jimmy. Immediate leader change, Andrea leading the way. Jack obviously just right behind him, side by side with him a moment ago. A real interesting start of the race there. Down in the AMS as well, Rob Barber, who was a P2 in the AMS, he has dropped to the bottom of the pack at the moment. So he's sitting right back there in P11 at the moment. Not quite too sure what happened there in the mix of it with all the smoke. Oh, there you go. Lee Martin coming into contact there. I believe that's with John Johnson at the back of the pack. That is real unfortunate for the pair of them because that puts them quite a little bit behind them at the start of this race, Jimmy, immediately.
Yeah, that's not where you want to be this early on, especially on a track like this. It is hard to catch up with the rest. Let's take a look at what happened though. So Lee Martin takes the normal racing line.
So Lee
John
Martin in
Johnson
the red and
goes
the
for a
black, John
dive on
Johnson
the
in the black.
inside. I think it leaves each other room, leave each other room.
They
And
leave it in
then,
room, but John
oh,
just
John
comes back
Johnson just
across.
tracks out a little bit.
Yeah,
Oh,
just comes back across a little bit too soon. I think he might have been expecting Lee to be starting to track out wide there, but I think John's just come a little bit too soon there for him, and then obviously causing that little bit of a collision. But no, that's the way it goes sometimes, Jimmy. We see it week after week. You've got to be so vigilant on those corners if you're going for a pass or you're side by side with someone there. All different kinds of tracks, it just poses so much of a problem trying to get an overtake or trying to get a move on the actual corner itself. Myself, I don't quite like to do it on the corners, only if it needs must situation.
I think you can really overtake anywhere, but it's that it's assumption, isn't it? If you make an assumption of where someone's going to be, then I think that's when you start getting problems. You kind of need to expect that they're going to give you the bare minimum, so you need to give them the absolute maximum if you're going to fight side by side in a corner. But yeah, we won't dwell on it any further. We'll have to see how Lee Martin works his way back up to the rest of the grid soon. Maybe he could work together with potentially
Mate,
someone else. I don't know. It's
yeah,
it's it's a tough ask, especially
look,
over 20 minutes,
look,
but it's not impossible.
Lee and John need to catch themselves up with Rob Barber at least in front of them. And at the moment, there's a 5 second gap. They're nearly 6. So they've got a little bit of work to do. We will check back in on them in a little bit. But no, Jim, we're on lap 2 at the moment, just over 2.5 minutes gone. Jack Veazey is leading the way at the moment. So he's got his lead back from Andrea, who did take him at the start of that race. Andrea now down into P2 with Rick Wishon in P3. Phil Giles, P4 out on track, P1 for the AMS at the moment. So he is doing really well. Qualified P1 and stayed P1 at the start of this race, followed by Denan Bronze in P2. Paul Brown just pushing himself up between P2 and in the AMS and P3 with Joseph Lopez, but Paul Brown just sitting there P6 out on track. Joseph Lopez P3 for the AMS with Rob Barber just behind him, with Casper Roos in P9, and then obviously Lee Martin in P10 and John Johnson in P11, rounding off the back of the pack at the moment. No, there's been a few changes in the first couple of laps there, Jim. Few couple of changes. Like I said, Rob Barber at the start of the race, he went right to the back there. But I noticed he did get himself a little bit up there before the incident with Lee Martin and John Johnson. So he's definitely trying to pull himself back up there to the top of the leaderboard. But he's still got a little fair, well, he's still got a fair way to go. But he's still got enough time to get that done, Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, when people start battling as well, remember it slows the group down, so hopefully a couple of people can start fighting each other, and then allows the rest of everyone else to catch back up. But yeah, Jack Veazey pulling away quite comfortably here, as we see a little bit of bump drafting there from who's that? That'd be Phil and is that Phil and Dinand pushing each other along a little bit?
I believe so. Denand in the purple car behind the two green cars with Rick Wish on a Phil Giles just ahead of him.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those tracks where you kind of need to you need to help each other out if there is a gap forming, because I mean it works really well with a track with lots of straight lines for a bit of bump drafting to help everyone catch back up. But
No, we
yeah,
do like to
Jack
see it because it
Beasley though.
keeps them sorry, it just keeps them quite close together, keeps the racing really tight and really engaging for them all, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was just gonna say Jack Beasley though doing very well. Andrea taking all of the grass there to minimize that corner, but no, Jack Beasley doing very well to have the car behind in the draft the entire time, but yet to still be pulling away a little bit. He's clearly very comfortable on this particular track. Andrea though very quick. Rick Wishon though, I'm surprised being 5 thousandths of a second off of Jack Veazey during qualifying is struggling a little bit on race pace, but I imagine they'll be able to catch up a little bit as Jack Veazey gets a slow down penalty from cutting the course a little bit, so he's going to have to serve that. That will allow Andrea and Rick Wishon and the rest of the pack to catch up very, very quickly.
No, it will do indeed. It will do indeed. But Jack Veazey won't like seeing that slow down because at the minute he's put himself in the best spot, Jimmy, for the championship at the moment. P1 leading the front of the pack. He is P3 in the championships at the minute. And do you know where our championship leader is currently? He's down in P10. So for Jack and Andrea, who's sitting in P1 and P2, P2 and P3 in the championships respectively as well, it's very good news for the pair of them.
It's good news for this race, but then remember, reverse grid order next race. That puts the championship leader in P2 for the start of the next race, and then Jack Veazey and Andrea and Rick and everyone else will be right at the back of the grid. So
Okay, well,
huge advantage for Lee next race, but he still, I think, would ideally like some more points in this one. I don't...
hey, look, I think he's going to get some more points in this one, Jimmy. Look, he's brought down in a couple of laps at Lee Martin. He went from nearly 6 seconds. He's now just under 2 seconds. The Casper is ahead of him. I don't think he's going to be staying in P10 for very long, but he's got a lot of work to do to get himself back up there and maximise his points. He's going to stay ahead of Jack Veazey and Andrea this evening and in the championship.
I mean, he is quick, but don't forget we've got people like Casper Roos, Joseph Lopez. I mean, Paul Brown. They're all quick drivers as well, and they love a scrap. They love a fight. They love defending and fighting for positions and stuff. And it's just going to hold up Lee Martin working his way through the field. No one's going to want to let him through because that ultimately they
Hey,
lose
no,
out on
hey,
points themselves.
no, I completely agree with you. And there's no reason. There's obviously there's no obligation for them to let Lee Martin go through to catch up with the rest of the pros and have their own race. Because at the end of the day, these AMs have got their own race, their own championship they're fighting for. And if Lee's going to get himself involved in it, he better be prepared to race with them. Because, like you said, there are some very fast, some very qualified drivers out there.
Just quickly, why does Gaz sound like a droid from Star Wars?
Why do
Is
I
there
sound like a droid from Star Wars? I have no idea.
is there an audio issue that we're anyway? I'll have to check on that one in a little bit, but no, I mean Lee
Oh,
Martin, yeah, he's already got past Casper Roost, got past him quite comfortably, and he's now coming up to nearly a second ahead of him. But he's got another 5 second gap to the next car in front of him. Um, so we'll have to see how that gets on.
all right. Just for your information, Marshall, I have checked with my sound guy who sits in the background and gets all this going for us, and he says I sound all right. So if you think I sound a little bit robotic, I do apologise, but maybe just give the YouTube a quick refresh on that one. No, just
Oh,
grumbly. He was making fun of me. That's absolutely fair. I'll accept that one. I'll accept that one, Jimmy. I'll accept that one. But no, there we are. Lap 5 of the race. Jack Veazey still leading the way with Andrea just behind him. Rick Wishon in P3 for your podium spots for the pros. Phil Giles leading the way in the AMs at the moment in P4 out on track with Denan Bronze and Paul Brown just behind him. Joseph Lopez P3 in the AMs, P7 out on track with Rob Barber just behind him. Lee Martin dropped off a little bit now. He's back to 5 seconds off of Rob Barber in front of him, so there must have been a slight issue going on for him just there. But he's now in P9 at the moment, back of the back for the pros with Casper Roost and John Johnson now.
So, have you seen the YouTube chat? He sounds like I did after a night on the cigars, a manly growl with a
A
Brummie
manly,
accent.
a manly gravelly growl. I like that with a Brummie accent. That's, do you know what? That's absolutely fair. I can't deny it. We all know that I'm from the Midlands. I'm not. I can't really disguise where I'm from, really. But I don't sound as Brummie as those guys on like Peaky Blinders and stuff like that. I'm assuming.
No, it's when you get frustrated or angry, that's when the accent comes out. Which
See, I
yeah,
think it's
I
the other
find
way
that with
because
anyone with an accent though. I mean,
hey, look, I think it's the other way. I'm from the south of the country originally. I think that comes out. But look, if you guys think I sound like a Brummie, I've been here for long enough. I should do by now. But hey ho, away we go. Enough ripping on me for tonight, guys. Thank you for that one, chat. I suppose it's still interaction with us. I'll take it at the end of the day. But no, Jimmy, it's been an interesting race so far, and very interesting one for the points in the championship for the first race this evening.
yeah, I just want to quickly mention. I believe Andrea did get a slight off track, so the lap doesn't count, but it just did a 1:53.2, which is
Wow,
2/10 quicker than Jack Veazey's fastest qualifying time, and a tenth quicker than Jack Veazey's fastest lap time. So Andrea
that is
is
really
flying on
fast.
track at the moment. I know he's got a bit of slipstream from Jack Veazey in front, but even still, that is some very, very fast lapping going on right there. He is
Look,
working for that
he's
P1
closing that
position.
right down now, Jimmy. Look, he's under half a second behind him. I think we're going to start to see a move possibly in the next few corners or so. But Andrea absolutely flying out there. And we know how strong Andrea is. Great guy to speak to as well. Always love to speak to him at the end of these races. But let's see what he can get done on Jack Veazey out in front of him. Paul Brown, though, going for a move on Denan Bronze just ahead of him at the moment. The pro trying to move past the AM in P2. But he's going to want to be wary of fighting with Paul at the moment as he tries to chase down Phil Giles out ahead in P1.
Yeah, I mean Paul definitely showing his nose a little bit there, looking that to get the overtake done and get past Dinand because he's got two cars ideally before he can actually start fighting with the pros up at front. So he's got some work cut out from there. Lee Martin though, he's taken the gap down from 5 seconds to 4.5. Seems to be struggling to catch up to the back of Robert Barber at the moment. So I think he might
Yeah,
be a little bit scuppered on this particular race of the evening. But after this, though, that reverse grid order race is going to put him right at the front, and it's going to give him the best advantage to maximising points.
well, yeah,
Uh,
he'd start P3 for the next race, P1 for the pros. So that's exactly where he's going to want to be, and he is a strong driver. There's a reason he's at the top of the championships, and I think it's just gone a little bit awry for him this race, and it does happen. It's just a shame that it's happened on race 8 of 8.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you don't want to see it, and it is just unfortunate. That is the importance of qualifying, though, isn't it? I mean, you ideally want to get around people with a similar pace to you to start off with, and then it's kind of a bit easier to fight and to work with them to catch up to the people further ahead rather than working my way back from the back because yeah, all
No,
that lot. But
absolutely. No,
Andrea though
I know what you're
really
saying.
hunting down Jack Veazey at the moment, and yeah,
Mm.
it'd be interesting to see if he can catch him towards the end of the race as Paul Brown looks to make a move on Denan Bronze but can't quite get it done. John Johnson though did have a bit of a slowdown, a bit further back, but yeah, shouldn't affect his race currently at the moment.
No, he's been a little bit way off the back of the Casper Roost at the moment, so I don't think that's going to impact the race overall too much there, Jimmy. But no, Jack Veazey still leading the way, 7 laps in, just over 12.5 minutes. Gone of this 20-minute race. We're just over halfway. With Andrea just behind him, he's just over half a tenth at the moment, but he is absolutely chasing down Jack ahead of him. Rick Wishon still sitting comfortably in P3 as well, looking to get himself possibly into the mix, but a few seconds between him and Andrea. Phil Giles is still leading the way for the AMs with Denan Bronze here in the purple on screen, as you can see, currently holding off Paul Brown behind him in the blue and white. And they have got Joseph Lopez now into the mix as well. So them three cars are surely going to get themselves into a nice little bit of a battle for us out on track. Rob Barber behind Joseph Lopez there in P8 with Lee Martin in P9, Casper is P10 and John Johnson P11.
Yeah, you got three quick drivers all stuck together there, and Paul Brown just stuck in the middle. He's yeah, it's a tough situation to be in because you want to get further ahead, but at the same time, it's like those two are quick and they're going to be
Yeah,
fighting.
He's in an
So
ham sandwich at the moment, and he needs to get himself out of it. I think if
an
you
arm
get if he
sandwich.
if he's in an ham sandwich. But yeah, he's sitting behind Rob Barber, and he has done for a little while now. Sorry, he sat behind Denan Bronze, and he has done for a little while now. Has Paul Brown, Lee Martin's been sitting behind Rob Barber for a little while. They're both going to be looking to get their moves done soon to both be progressing up the pack.
Yeah, Andrea falling a little bit off the pace there. Jack Veazey nearly getting up to a second ahead, but keeping Andrea just in that slipstream, just a bit further behind. As Phil Giles or Rick Wishon again, two cars absolutely glued to each other further back in the field. We've got a couple of little groups, a couple of gaggles forming of cars here, as people can't pull away from the others around them. And yeah, I mean, I thought there'd be a lot more side by side, a lot more fighting going on, but I guess people want to. If I
Yeah,
guess, like I said, if you're fighting too much, it slows you down, doesn't it? And then you lose the group ahead. But I'd have thought people would be bump drafting and kind of trying to push each other more to catch up to the other groups.
well, I think it's something we'll definitely be seeing in the second race, Jimmy, once everybody knows where their points are sitting at and what they need to do going into that absolute last race of this season. So I'm expecting it more in the second race. I think everybody's kind of found, like you said, their little gaggles, their little groups at the moment. And I think at the moment, to be fair, they're just everyone's having their own races. Like I said, Paul Brown, he's been trying to get past Nan for quite a while now. And Joseph Lopez now in the mix, three very good drivers. Lee Martin's been trying to get himself up the pack as well. He's been sitting behind Rob Barber for just a little while. So he's got a fight going on. Andrea behind Jack, he's got his fight going on. They both know what they need to do, but Andrea does need to get that move done. But in the championship, he's still sitting above Jack Beasley at the moment by a fair few points. So he should have it done. But it'll be real interesting to see what these guys do in the second race for sure. I think we'll get a lot more action, a lot more bumping, Jim. Like you going, like you're saying, because of well, like I said, because everybody will know exactly what they need to do going into that last race.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just going back to what you said earlier, with Andrea being comfortably in the points ahead of Jack Veazey, again, it could be a situation where he just wants to kind of stick. Maybe you stick with second place, and you get those good points, and then you kind of keep your championship lead a little bit. Well, I mean, I think Lee Martin's currently leading, but points wise might fall back into second or third place at the end of this race. But yeah, Andrea, I think it's a good spot for him to be in. And yeah, for that second race, I think it's a tough one because then you got to think about drivers as well. It's like, yeah, you want to work with
Mm.
other drivers to catch up through the field, but Joseph Lopez
Paul
just
Paul
collects
Brown
the
there
back of
just
Paul Brown there.
yeah, Paul Brown sending Paul Brown right around, really affecting Paul Brown's race there. That is not what he's going to want to be happening. He's been with Denan for absolutely ages there with Joseph Lopez just behind. We'll have another look at that one in just a moment's time. But that is really, really unfortunate for him.
No, it's dropped him behind Lee Martin now, so that's going to give Lee Martin a couple extra points there. That's going to help his championship. Again, Paul Brown will be starting basically first place in the pros in the second race of the evening, so that'll be good for him, but terrible for this late on in the race to drop down that far.
Well, let's have another look at this one, Jimmy. So Paul Brown, obviously in the middle of your screen right now in the blue and the white, and Denand ahead of him. Joseph coming up in the green and the yellow. What happens?
So they both kind of break at the same breaking point. Joseph Lopez breaks way later, carries a lot more speed, and just
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely rear ends him there.
you
Now,
can see he
is
was
Paul
kind of
Brown
straight
breaking
lining it.
too? Sorry, just to ask, is Paul Brown breaking too soon there? Is Lopez breaking way too late?
Uh, I think the car in front can never brake too soon, really. I mean, obviously they can, but uh, it's a situation where you've always got to kind of you can't just ram into another driver, can you?
No,
If someone brakes
absolutely
soon,
not.
you have to react and brake soon as well. I think Joseph Lopez just overshot the corner a little bit, and then
A momentary lapse in concentration may be there from Joseph Lopez careening into the back of Paul Brown there. Didn't really affect Joseph Lopez too much at all. He keeps his position in his class and moves up to P6 on the leaderboard now, sitting behind just over a second behind and just ahead of him. Paul Brown now, like you said, behind Lee Martin. So that's definitely going to help Lee Martin gain a couple more points because every point is really going to matter with how tight it is between the top two with Lee Martin and Andrea up there. Like I said, Jack Veazey is still in the mix, depending on how these races do go. At the moment, he's in the best possible spot, but Lee Martin needs to gather as many points as he can. But we are coming up to the last minute of this first race this evening, Jimmy, and Andrea has got himself back within half a second of Jack Veazey.
Yeah, he's closing in, and we are on the final lap of this particular race. We'll have a 5 minute break after this one, and we'll go into our second race of the evening just after that 5 minute break. But for now, last lap of this first race of the evening. Andrea really closing in. He's going to have to make that move done if he wants to get the overtake done. As Jack
And
Veazey
he
goes a
might,
little bit wide, allows Andrea to get on the inside, and he gets the move almost done. Can't carry quite enough speed, so he's going to have to fight again at the next corner. But that has shown Jack Veazey that he is looking to get ahead, and he is looking to fight. So Jack
that was
Veazey is going to be on his. He's going
that
to have
was
to
a
be on it.
huge opportunity there for Andrea, Jim, and he just did not quite capitalise on it. He's brought that time down to just over 2 tenths now, just under 3. But he should have absolutely capitalised on that mistake there from Jack Veazey going wide. That is really unfortunate for Andrea that he hasn't been able to make that move done. I'd be kicking myself right now.
You can see Jack Veazey getting very defensive, making a very aggressive motion there to hide the inside. But Andrea's still a little bit stuck behind. But look at they are practically bumper to bumper. And yeah, one mistake from Jack Veazey puts Andrea into the lead position. So we'll have to see if he can hold him off for these next few corners. Not many left to go. And yeah, we'll have to see how
Well,
if he can hold on to that first place position.
Well, we've hit that 20-minute mark now, Jimmy. So when they come round over the line, that will be that. So Andrea has not got long to get this done, and he's now he's on that half a second mark at the moment. Is he going to be able to get himself back up there before the end of this lap?
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. I think he's fallen off to about half a second now, so that I don't think he'll be able to catch him towards the end unless Jack Veazey makes a huge mistake coming out of here. But no, he keeps oh, he does lose a little bit of pace there. Andrea manages to catch up a little bit, but no, I don't think it's enough for Andrea to get the move done, as Jack Veazey will be our leader of the race. Little flash, little wiggle there from Andrea saying good race everyone. Jack Veazey first place, Andrea second place, Rick Wishon another nice clean race. Same with Phil as well. Beautiful clean race. Phil Giles getting first place in the AMS. Nicely done by him there. With Dinan Bronze keeping P2 in the AMS and Joseph Lopez getting third place. Robert Barber crossing line soon after that, who's fourth place in the AMS, seventh place overall. Lee Martin in eighth, getting ahead of Paul Brown after the incident earlier. And we have Casper Roost coming across the line now for 10th place overall, 5th place in the AMS, and John Johnson rounding out your 11 drivers this evening. And he is getting 11th place now, but starting P1 in just over 5 minutes' time.
There you go. Do you think he's left himself that little bit of a gap there for a bit of mind games, put himself ahead of everybody for the next race there, Jim?
Yeah,
No,
you can't carry the extra seconds into the next race, sadly, so it will
but no,
bring everyone back together.
yeah, well, just John Johnson now coming down the straight there. He's going to cross the line, and that will finish our first race of this evening off. Remember, a 5 minute break now before we get underway on our final race, James, of the season.
Final race of the season.
It's going to be a
Yeah, I
real
mean,
interesting one.
yeah, all to play for on this one. I imagine a lot of the drivers are going to be going back out on track in that warm up and then getting as much practice as they can in for those 5 minutes just to see if they can.
Well, I would if I could as well. To be fair, because it just you know what we say, Jim. We say each and every week, every lap counts, whether you're in it or not. So
Yeah.
we'll bring you the overall standings in that one and confirm where everybody finished and where everybody will be starting for you in just a moment's time. But there you go, Jimmy. Take it away. Let everybody know how that one finished.
Yep, so Jack Veazey led the way and finished in P1, followed closely and very closely by Andrea Magli in second place, Rick Wishon in third, rounding out your top three in the pros. Then we have Phil Giles, first place in the AMS at fourth place overall, followed by Dinan Bronze and Joseph Lopez is your top three in the AMS. And then we have Robert Barber, fourth place in the AMS, seventh place overall, followed by Lee Martin, Paul Brown, Casper Roost, and John Johnston. So yeah, a few little groups forming here and there throughout the field. I think this next race though, it always jumbles things up. It always keeps people a bit more close together, and I don't know. The second race of the evening is always my favourite because it just,
No,
yeah,
it
it's just so
really is.
exciting watching everyone just drive sort of differently and work together in weird ways. And yeah,
Well, it's like you said earlier, Jim, and I think I touched on it. Like I think now everybody knows exactly what's to play for. That's going to be where it's at. Everybody's just going to be locked in. There's going to be fighting out on track. There's going to be bumping going out on track. There's going to be bump drafting going out on there. I think we're always going to see a better second race. And I think with it being the season final, with the points now, they're going to be known to the drivers, and we'll get through it during the race. But at the moment, everybody's going to know exactly how it is sitting. So it's going to be an interesting second race.
yeah. I mean, we've got the points available to us here as we can see on our screens personally. And yeah, it's whether we keep it a secret and we wait for that second race of the season, or if we want to announce kind of where the points are at for this one. Let's
Well, I
see
think
how.
we can. I think I'll tell you what, Jimmy. I think we'll keep the points. We'll keep the points to us for now, but we'll give the top three for each because the top three for each are well and truly within can win the season for each of them, can't they? I think you can agree with me on that one.
Yeah, I think yeah, depending on how it goes, top three.
All right.
Uh,
So top three in the pros. Top three in the pros. You can go Lee Martin, Andrea Maglai, or Jack Veazey. It's gonna be one of those guys, depending on what happens out there. In the AMS, Rob Barber, Joseph Lopez, Casper Roost. Six very strong drivers just named there, but everyone out on track is a very strong driver, so it's not easily done. It's not going to be easily won tonight.
no, it's very very close. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be it's all gonna come down to this race, and I think Lee Martin is looking in the best position, starting so far up the field. It depends how he gets on with Paul Brown, whether Paul Brown wants to defend like nobody's business and keep Lee behind him, allow the rest of the group to catch up, and then make it an absolute mix-up, or
Well,
yeah,
we'll have to wait and see, Jimmy, and see exactly what happens. But I, for one, am expecting and hoping for a very interesting second race to finish off us this evening. And don't forget, guys, Fast 8, 21st of June, the new season in the GR86s. Link is in the description and the comments. Please do join us for that one. And if you can't race, join us along and watch along because you know you're going to get some great racing.
yeah. I mean, I'm really looking forward to that second season, and it's just yeah, it's gonna be so much fun with those tracks that we've got on
No,
there.
it really is. And I don't know if we can flash up the post for everyone again, but some
There
of
it
those
is.
tracks, Jimmy, there you go, are absolutely fantastic. You got Daytona in there, you got Monza, Indianapolis, Navarra, where we are tonight, Hockenheim, Road America, Watkins Glen, and Thruxton. Some fantastic tracks. I'm sure you'll agree.
Yeah, but the thing about the Navarra that we've got, it's not this full course that we've got now. It's the short course version, and
Ah,
so it's about half the size. It has three corners.
okay,
It should
okay.
make for absolute madness, and I'm really looking forward to that one.
Well,
But
that'll
yeah, a
definitely
lot
be
of
one to
these
look out for.
yeah, a lot of these tracks we've got are kind of draft tracks with a little bit of technical section thrown within them, just to kind of make it a bit more interesting
Don't forget though, Jimmy, endurance races as well.
and endurance races as well. So yeah, the endurance races for this league are the full 45-minute race rather than a 20 and a 25. So yeah, it just shakes things up a little bit, adds a little bit
It,
of a
no, it really
little
does. It
interest
really
to the season.
does. It make for a really good race as well, and that's why I want you guys to sign up for the new season. You've just saw it there. Some great races lined up for you guys next year. Get in on it. But Jimmy, we are starting to line up out on track now, and I think that's pretty much. I think we're missing maybe one out there. Are we
And I
missing
think that's
one?
all the
No,
drivers
no,
currently
that's
on
all
the grid.
11. No, I am mistaken. That is all 11. So in a moment, it'll be lights out, and away we go for the final time this season in the Tanzo Racing Group here for the GR86s.
There we go. Oh, we were missing Dinan Bronze hadn't quite lined up just yet, but now they are all on the grid as the lights are on the way. So it's 3, 4, 5 red lights, and away we go. Great start from Paul Brown there. Absolute phenomenal start from there. He was flying off the grid.
Really flying. A bit of a slow start there from John Johnson just up ahead of him, allowing Paul Brown to get immediately next to him. And then is that Andrea or is that Jack that I believe is a no? Is that Andrea or Jack? I do apologise there. I think that's Casper Rooster just getting involved in the mix. Lee Martin as well get himself involved there at the start of this race as well. But Paul Brown's
Oh,
taken the lead at the moment as John Johnson tracks slightly wider for now. Great start of the race there, Jimmy, so far.
yeah, it looked like a little bit of a tap between Denand and I believe that might have been Phil a bit further back, but it barely looked like too much. Casper Russo taking so much curve on that second corner there. That was yeah, I was a bit worried for him there coming around the corner, but no. Paul Brown getting a flying start as away he goes. As Phil Giles gets absolutely collected and around he goes. We'll have to go back and take a look on that one, see what happens. But he's still close enough to the rest of the grid that he should be able to catch up. No problem whatsoever. Dinan Bronze as well, a bit further back, so we'll have to see what happened between those two. So I think I wanted to go back a little bit further. We kind of joined partway through that incident just to see what's going on.
So it
So
looks like there's just a slight tap, but let's have a look what is happening there. So Denand on the inside in the purple.
yeah,
With yeah, a little bit of a slight tap on Phil Giles there. Comes in a bit quick, doesn't he?
it's a hard one because Dinan set himself up for that inside corner, but he wasn't alongside. And yeah, I think he just needed to lift off the tiniest little bit to avoid that contact. But I think that's just a bit of a racing incident there. I don't think you can really get too upset about that one.
No,
But
you
no,
cannot. You cannot indeed. Things like that do happen each and every single week.
but so far, Lee Martin, though, doing well, getting second place, keeping position. He's got Casper Roos right behind him and Joseph Lopez as well, not too far behind, as Robert Barber and is that Robert Barber and Rick Wishon battling a little bit. John Johnston going very wide there, which allows the other drivers around to just get past. I believe that's Jack Veazey and Andrea Magli just sneaking past there. Phil Giles and Denan Bronzo already on the back of the pack, so they weren't too
No,
affected by that initial incident. Glad they could get back up to the rest of them.
no, it's really, really interesting start to this race there, Jim. And at the moment, Paul Brown is going to be very happy leading the way. But Lee Martin, though, in P2 at the moment is going to be even happier, I think, because of where he's sitting on those leaderboards in the championship, Jimmy. That is a great result for him if he can keep it. Paul Brown not quite in the mix to get in the championship, to get his hand on the trophy tonight. But Lee Martin definitely is. So P2 for him is a very, very good spot, especially with his closest competitors sitting down in P7 and P8 out on track at the moment. I don't suspect they'll stay there for too long. There you go, Andrea and Jack. You can just see them now. I don't think they'll stay there for too long. They will start pushing up through the rest of the pack. We know how strong they both are. But for right now, Lee Martin is going to be very, very happy with how this race has started for him.
Yeah, he's going to be very, very happy with that. I think that's kind of holding him in contention for the championship win. Um, yeah, I
Yeah,
think the
well, we can see how close it is, can't we, Jimmy? And we can both see Lee Martin sitting there, and there's not that many points between him and Andrea in P2 in Championship. So where Lee Martin's sitting right now, and where Andrea is, so much better for Lee's position out on track there and claim for the championship.
yeah, but it is a 25-minute race. Anything can happen. And yeah, we've got quite a group of cars behind, and they're all sticking together. So yeah, it's tough to get through the field. Um, but let's see how they get on with it as Casper goes down on the inside of Joseph Lopez. They don't both kind of slow each other down, and that allows Rick Wishon to get a lot more speed through that corner and get the move done. And now he's in the slipstream of Joseph Lopez, and I reckon he'll be looking to make the overtake through this next corner. You can see how close he is getting behind him here. And yeah, I think he's going to get the move done potentially. Casperou's looking on the inside. I think that's going to scupper Rick Wishon moving to the inside as Nope keeps position and they all follow in a little train. Oh, Rob Barber and Casper though having a little coming together. That's going to slow them down a little bit, but not only that, it's going to slow down Jack Veazey and Andrea just behind them as well as they look to avoid potentially any potential
Well, with
incident.
Andrea, with Andrea setting the fastest lap and Jack Veazey setting the second fastest lap of the race so far, them two guys are really going to want to start pushing past these guys sitting out in front of them, aren't they? They're not going to want to be stuck behind Casper and Rob and Rick fighting out ahead of them. They're going to want to get past them as quick as they can. And Joseph Lopez is in there as well. None of these guys are messing around. There you go. Jack Veazey's starting to make the move. He's got it done on Casper Roos right now, so he's left Andrea a little bit behind for now. So Jack's started to pick them off. We know how strong they are.
Yeah, lots of strong drivers here. I think that's where the struggle does come in when you kind of equal on the skill roughly with everyone else around you. It does just hold you as a group together. It does make overtakes a little bit more difficult. So working their way up through the field though, Andrea struggling a little bit compared to Jack Veazey. Jack Veazey currently sat behind Robert Barber, so let's see if he can get past him down the main straight. But when everyone's kind of slipstreaming off the car in front of them, it's yeah, the speed differences aren't too dissimilar from each other.
Not at all, not at all. Right, Jimmy, we are just over 5 minutes into this race, leading the way at the moment. Paul Brown still out in P1 and P1 for the pros, followed by Lee Martin in P2. Joseph Lopez, P3 out on track, P1 for the AMs, followed by Rick Wishon, P3 for the pros, P4 out on track, followed by Rob Barber, P2 for the AMs. Jack Veazey now up into P6. He's working his way back up there. Casper sitting behind him in P7, P3 for the AMs. Andrea now in P8 with Phil Giles in P9, Denan Bronze in P10, and it looks like we have lost John Johnston. But Jimmy, for the final time this season, I'm going to give you about 15 minutes or so. I would like, for the last time, your driver of the day, if that is okay with you.
Yep, absolutely. And then you'll be going for the pros. And anyone at home, if you would like to suggest your driver of the day, give us a little message in the YouTube chat, and we'll give them a
Yeah,
shout out as well.
driver of the day, or you could as well. You could even let us know who your driver of the season is. I know some of you guys have been with us here from the very, very start. So let us know who you thought was your driver of the season, or indeed, yeah, your driver of the day. But Jimmy, and from you, and I shall give you the pros, and we'll get into that in about 15 minutes' time, with about 5 minutes left to go of this race. But Jack Veazey making another move there on Rob Barber just while we were going through that, and making another one. P4 out on track, got himself in front of Joseph Lopez and Rob Barber. So P4 now overall P4 in the pros. He needs to catch up if he's got any kind of chance. But at the moment, I think he's pretty far out there, the outside chance to win that championship right now.
Yeah, I mean he's further back on points, but anything can happen, and I mean has happened. I mean Lee Martin did lose a lot of points on that first race, which brought the scoreboard a lot closer together. But I think the one person we're going to watch here, Andrea Magli, he's in the best position to win this race outside of Lee Martin and win the championship. Sorry, and he is the furthest down of all the pros, so he's got his work absolutely cut out for him, and he's really going to be
Yeah,
wanting to get through that field.
well, he got himself past Phil Giles, but he just can't seem to get himself past Casper and Rob Barber at the moment. So he needs to get the move done, and he's only a few tenths off of them two in front of him. So he hasn't got far to go. He just needs to get it done. They're 8 minutes into it now. There's not all the time in the world left to go.
No, I mean we're coming up to about yeah, because you kind of want to get all moves done a few laps before the end, just because you got to be defending really, and I think that's the best position around here is to be defending rather than attacking. So yeah, anything that's got to be done, you want to get done as soon as you possibly can.
No, absolutely, absolutely, Jimmy. But something as well I'd like to see as well, if you don't mind. You know, I like to see it each and every week, and I think it helps our viewers at home as well. Do you think we could get an onboard review for one final time this season?
Yeah, let's go on and do it. We can hop on board with Paul Brown here as he's leading the way, and we'll do like an on board of the track, and we'll let you know what the drivers are dealing with on a
There you
evening
go.
like today.
So we'll pick him up as he comes round at the start of the next lap, and then Jimmy, yeah, you can let everybody at home know, and we can all see just what these guys are having to deal with out there this evening.
So just quickly, Joseph Lopez has got himself a slowdown penalty. That'll make it a bit easier for Andrea Magli to get ahead and get fighting with the rest of the pros here. As a bit of a gap has formed. Jack Veazey though getting past Rick Wishon as well, now up into third place. If I think the only possible way I think Andrea can win it now is if VZ gets ahead of possibly Lee Martin as well, and then Andrea can get towards the front of the grid. So
Yeah,
there
but
you go,
I
all the
think it would
pros
like
together now.
it could take a little bit of a tumble down though for that to happen as well, Jimmy. But Joseph Lopez just picking up a black flag there though, Jim. Just while you were saying that.
Yeah, I'm guessing he didn't serve that slowdown penalty in time and has given himself a black flag.
Yeah, real unfortunate for Joseph Lopez there. He's not in. in the well, no, he's in the championship race as well for the AMS. So that's really gonna impact his race there because Rob Barber is currently leading the way in the championship, but Casper Roos is leading the way for the AMS, and Casper Roos is in the mix as well.
Yeah, Joseph Lopez dropping right to the back of the pack now. Ah, such a shame about that. I mean, you've got to serve a slowdown when you can. It's better to take the couple second penalty rather than the the
The
drive-through penalty.
Yeah, the full penalty. You don't want it to happen. That's going to be really, really unlucky for him there. But it's all on him, isn't it, Jim?
It is all on him. Sadly, that is how it goes sometimes. But yeah, Lee Martin though having a great race so far. He's got a decent gap to the cars behind at the moment. Paul Brown though having a phenomenal second race of the evening, 2 and a bit seconds ahead of Lee Martin and leading the race as Casper Roost gets himself a slowdown penalty too and is now dropping behind Dinan Bronze as he serves that.
Well, here we go, Jimmy. We're going to pick up Paul Brown now. So can you lead us through this next lap with him and let us all know what he's going to have to deal with out there?
Yep, so we're on the final corner now, and I'll start as soon as he goes around this fella. So you can see just how wide the track is and this beautiful long straight that we've got here. This next corner is probably one of the deceptively trickiest corners on the track. As you're braking and turning, the car gets very unsettled as you're going uphill into a heavy hairpin. So you'll see here, so the car's going flat out, flat out, flat out, and you're just touching those brakes. You can see the front end moving forward as you try to get the car rotated and keep it settled as you go around this the hairpin here. Again, flat out, nice little left-hander here. Again, it's just sort of a little back straight here. You can see it makes for a good overtaking opportunity if you can get it done. Now we've got this nice uphill kind of snail shell kind of section here as you go uphill using all the track to rotate your car through. Nice little, it's not really a chicane, but it kind of feels like a chicane as you come out of there using all the track and curbing on the left to open up that corner into another hairpin. And then we go into the back straight here. Another great overtaking opportunity as it's got a very heavy braking zone into a right-hander at the end. Very flat track, but it does have a little bit of elevation here and there. There you go, heavy braking into a long right-hander. Then we've got quite a sharp left-hander here coming up as we brake at the curb here. Just touch the apex slightly, open up that corner using all the curb on the exit as we come through here, going over that curbing. You don't want to go too wide because that's where you can get an off track and potentially a slowdown penalty. Another hairpin coming up now as we get back on the throttle for the final. There's a bend and then the final corner of the track. So quite a long track, quite a lot of heavy braking zones as we're seeing right here, and a very important one here as the speed you carry through there carries all the way down the main straight. So it is a nice little track, lots of beautiful overtaking opportunities, but you can really see how wide it is when you see that shot there. I mean, it's just, yeah, bit of
Oh,
a.
you could probably get most of the grid side by side there, probably about 5, 6 wide there, Jimmy, down that straight.
I feel
But
like you
no,
could probably get the whole grid side by side there.
But no, absolutely love that, Jimmy. Absolutely love the onboards there 'cause it really does show us and myself here just exactly what these guys are having to deal with out there on track. You really get a good feel for it. We've had one person give us their driver of the day in the season, and it should come as no surprise, Jimmy. But Paul Brown's daughter, driver of the day and season, is of course her dad. It's Paul Brown. But she says everybody has done great as well, though.
Yeah, they really have it. Like fantastic group here, and I'd have been disappointed if she didn't give Paul Brown driver of the day, but it would have been kind of
I
funny
would
at
have
the same
found
time.
it hilarious if she hadn't have given Paul Brown driver of the day and driver of the season, giving it to her own dad. That'd have made some bit comedy gold there, Jim. I'd
I
love to have
know.
been a fly on the wall when he saw that comment.
I think it's a bit of the English bastard in me is kind of thinking like, if I had family members that are racing, you want to give the driver of the day to their biggest rival just to.
just to get under their skin just a little bit more.
But no, I mean, a solid choice there, Paul Brown. I mean, he's showing why his daughter believes that he's the driver of the day by leading this race the entire time, 8 laps in, 15 minutes in, and he's still leading ahead of the rest of the group.
There you go. Paul Brown, like you said, leading the way 15 minutes in here, Jimmy. But Jack Veazey has now got himself up into P2 and he's a second and a half off of Paul Brown with just under now 10 minutes of this race left to go. So could we see a late dash from Jack Veazey on here to try and get himself up to P1? We'll have to see what happens. But no, Paul Brown leading the way, followed by Jack Veazey with Lee Martin in P3, Rick Wishon in P4, Andrea in P5. So Andrea has started to make some moves as well now. So he's got a little bit of a gap to make up to get himself up there with the rest of that pack and to get a claim on that championship, Jimmy. Phil Giles, P6 out on track, P1 on in the AM leaderboard at the moment. Denan Bronze just behind him with Rob Barber in P3, Casparus in P4 with Joseph Lopez behind him. And of course, we have lost John Johnson for this evening. So we're going to finish with 10.
Yeah, Jack Veazey though setting fastest lap of the race with a 53.2. So same time as Andrea's fastest lap, but he didn't get an off track, so it does count towards the fastest lap. No extra points for it or anything like that, but it does just show the pace that he's got this evening. Jack Veazey is on fire with some of these lap times. Andrea, though, sadly, 4.5 seconds off the back of Rick Wishon. He's got his work cut out for him, and I think he's kind of giving the championship to Lee Martin currently at the moment. But still, 10 minutes to go. Anything can happen. We'll have to see how they get on.
We really are going to have to keep an eye on it and the points to see what does happen. I think there's a lot can happen, but unless I think VZ Jim, I've just worked out on the maths. I don't think he can claim the championship. I think P2 is about the best he can get, and he will just miss out on P1. But it does just depend on Lee Martin and Andrea, and they'd have to take a serious tumble in this race, and I just don't see that happening. So at the moment, it's going to be between Lee Martin and Andrea for the championship to see what happens there.
Yeah, we'll have to see how he gets on, and yeah, I think Andrea needs to find an extra gear in that car somehow, and get back up fighting with the rest of them. But the problem is they've all got slipstream off each other. He's further back and he's driving on his own, so he hasn't
They're just
quite
going to
got
pull
that
away.
extra help with him. Yeah, no,
No,
and
they're just going to pull away. He's going to have to hope for some fighting between them all to slow them all down a little bit. With we'll definitely have to see what happens there with those guys. But no, at the minute, Jimmy, between Lee Martin and Andrea for the championship. And down in the AMs, Rob Barber leading the way at the minute, but Joseph Lopez is really, really close behind him, and Casper Roos is also really close behind them too as well. So that
but
one could
speaking of
swing.
yeah, speaking of close behind though, Jack Veazey right on the back bumper of Paul Brown. And yeah, this is where Paul Brown is going to have to start defending, start taking some different lines, trying to hold off Jack Veazey, and see if he can keep that P1 of the race. He's had phenomenal pace up until now, but Jack Veazey is a force to be reckoned with, especially on a track like this. He's yeah, he seems to just be absolutely rapid.
Really, really quick. He's caught that gap up to Paul Brown that second and a half when we touched in with him earlier when he did get up into the P2 position. And no, he's really, really caught up on him here. Can Paul Brown hold him off for the last few minutes of this race?
Yeah, he's going to have his work cut out for him. But Rick Wishon though, and I've completely lost where I am. And Lee Martin, sorry, fighting
There you
very
go.
close behind as as well. I had a bit of a moment there. Just when you start talking and your mind just goes like, you know what, you're gonna forget everything that's happening.
No,
And
I get that quite a lot, Jimmy. Quite a lot. I think my manager at work would agree that that's how my brain works most of the time.
yeah, and they are fighting bumper to bumper here. And I think Rick Wishon, I don't know if he gets the move done, that's gonna put him and Andrea very Lee Martin and Andrea very close on points, but it will still be in Lee's favour this evening. So we'll have to see how they get on, but yeah, do quite like that livery. I think the matching wheels as well. I do quite like in a livery, and
No, it's a very very nice livery, but I do like Lee Martin's ahead of him. That black and red, it's just that, and then darker colours. I do. It's more me. That is more me.
yeah, it's a mean color combo, isn't it? The the black
Yeah,
and the red.
it's one of them. It's a classic as well, and I do really like it. But no, I do like Rick's green on green there. There is something about it. I do agree. But Jimmy, it is that time of the day for driver of the day. So I would like your AM driver of the day, please.
Oh, am driver of the day. I mean, personally, I think I gotta go Phil Giles. He's just leading this race, the second race of the season, of this evening, and he was flying in that first race too. Just underrated driver, I think, at the moment. Just getting moves done, getting points, being consistent, being quick, and I think I've just got to give it to him this evening.
No, it's a great choice. It's a great choice. He's been very, very consistent tonight. Qualified P1, raced P1, second race. He's sitting out there in P1. He's had a brilliant race this evening. Great racing evening all around. It's absolutely brilliant choice. My pro though, Jimmy, I am going to have to give it to Andrea for the pros. Look, I know at the moment he's saying P5, but he's had a great race. He's been great all season. Absolutely love talking to him. He's had a brilliant race out there. The first race, he's done absolutely phenomenal to keep up with Jack ahead of him. Yeah, he's sitting in P5 in his second one. He's still got a little bit to do, but there is a little bit of time left. You don't know what's going to happen. If he can make anything up or if anything does go ahead of him, you just never know. But Andrea has really impressed me out there tonight. So Andrea for me is my pro driver of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you, but I think it's one of those races where I think pretty much anyone could be in contention. Yeah, it's just so nice and close between everyone. Everyone's showing kind of very similar skill. I mean, you can see the groups forming, and yeah, it's tough work. I mean, you can see how much these guys are really pushing those cars as well, with how many off tracks they're getting, how many slowdown penalties they're getting, and how much grass they're cutting as they go around. These guys are really pushing and really fighting for those final points of the season. And yeah, I don't think I could pick a driver of the season at all. I think everyone's been
No,
so like, I mean, different races favored different drivers, I think, but yeah, I think they've all done such a good job this season, and yeah, I'm very impressed with every single one of them out there.
no, really am. I did toy around with the idea pre coming on live tonight, Jimmy, about possibly driver of the season. But look, I had to think about it myself. Who could I give it to? And I couldn't pin it down to one single driver. Like I even went back to a few of the previous races, just had a little look through those, just see if anything really stood out. And look, I know there's out there you've got your really fast drivers. Everybody knows like Jack Beasley how quick that he actually is. We see it pretty much week in week out. But every single one of those guys out there can give absolutely everything at any time, and they do most of the time, and they make some real great racing, real great viewing. I couldn't pick out a single one, so no, I completely agree with you. It's
All right,
really hard to pick out a driver of the season.
I've got a thought.
Go on
So
then.
no driver of the season, but what's been your race of the season? What's been your favorite race we've had so far?
Oh, Jimmy. Do you know, like,
Because I know
there's,
mine. I know mine. There's one
there's
that's
been
going to stand out for me.
go on, give us your one standout because
I'll give you time to think.
I'm, re-
I'll say
I'm
mine. I'll give you
really,
time to
yeah,
think.
I'm really torn on that one. I'm really torn on that one. Go on.
For me, it was Watkins Glen. That wet race that we had, that was so everyone's so close together, and the battles that we had, and the surprise winner that we had from that one as well. It was just everything about it was just phenomenal. It was so entertaining. I think it was one of the few times where I've literally leapt off my seat, just like face glued to the screen of just
Yeah,
excitement out of that one. So for me,
no,
Watkins Glen was got to be the race of the
it
season.
re- it really was. It was a really tight one, if I remember correctly, with the AMs and the finish, and we didn't know how it was going to go. We nearly had the perfect story on live, and it was taken away from us, if I remember correctly.
But then it was brought
And
back because it turns out he wasn't am.
yeah, it was brought back because he was an AM. So it was Phil Giles as well. We wasn't sure at the time. He was classed as a pro, but no, he was indeed an AM, and he had the perfect story, and it was a really good one. So no, just to differ from you though, as good as that one was, Jimmy, I've got to say most sport just because of how much I love that track.
Okay, I thought you'd have gone with Monza just because. I mean, Monza was a close second for me because having 7 of the 8 drivers, I believe it was, leading the race at some point was
Yeah,
just
no,
like
it was a good
fantastic
one.
watching. You never knew who was going to win. It was always chopping and changing. Fifth place would become first place on the next lap, and it was just yeah.
Well, if I remember correctly on Monza as well, that was the endurance race we had this season. Joseph Lopez and Phil Giles both got the black flag on the last lap, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh,
Which
sorry,
gave
just
Rob
quickly,
Barber his win.
we are on the last lap of the race, last lap of the season. Jack Veazey leading the way currently. Paul Brown just behind him. So yeah, all
Uh,
to play for on this last lap as Rick Wishon gets ahead of Lee Martin, pushes him down into the field. We got Andrea Magli closing in a little bit. He's gained 2 seconds over these last couple laps, but it's not quite enough to get ahead of Lee Martin, sadly, for him. But Lee Martin will be, I think, rejoicing at the position that he's got at the moment, provided he can keep it where he is now. And we can see them all like just
Look how
clipping that
squirrely
grass.
Rick is. I know Rick was very, very squirrely just there in front of him. That's going to allow Lee to catch him up a little bit more, which he does. 2 tenths gained just in that one corner alone, Jimmy. But could we see a late move up from Lee Martin here?
I think we might do, but at the same time, I think the points are still his at the end of the day. So I think he'll be fine with that position. But yeah, Jack Veazey had a great race. Paul Brown having a phenomenal race as well to hold off as long as he did. Rick Michon, Lee Mahan, great battle. Phil Giles, the now bronze again, battling the whole way through. Robert Barber as well. Casper Roost getting in the mix every time he can. Joseph Lopez sadly had the black flag and fell further down. John Johnson as well is out. But yeah, great race all around. Well done to yeah, everyone this season. It's just been utterly, utterly phenomenal from everyone here.
No, it really, really has. And it's been a great season to follow along with. And I cannot wait to get started,
Yeah.
Jimmy. Just remember,
Would you like to call it
21st.
as they cross the line? Sorry.
Well, there you go. Your race winner for this evening, Jack Veazey, crosses the line. He's come from pretty much last to first there in the second race, followed by Paul Brown in P2. Crossing over the line next is Lee Martin in P3. Rick Wishon just found him in P4 with Andrea in P5. Leading the way for the AMS as he has done all evening long. Phil Giles, he'll be coming over the line in first place for the AMS with Denan Bronze just behind him. Rob Barber in P3, Casper Roos P4, and Joseph Lopez finishing off the race for us this evening.
Yeah, Lee Martin though getting ahead of Rick Wishon on that final corner. He had a great exit out of there as well and held that position. And yeah, that was crucial for him for points there to
No, it
maintain that
it really,
potential
really was.
win,
And
which will
no, it's yeah, it's going to clamp down. I think his position on that leaderboard. I think, isn't it, Jimmy?
yeah, and we'll announce the winner very shortly. But once everyone's crossed the line, Joseph Lopez, you see a bit further back because of that penalty, how much that does affect your race. But
No, it really does. It really does hinder the way, doesn't it?
it does indeed. But no, great, great week evening all around, and yeah, we've got our points on our computer here, so we'll read out the order for you very, very soon.
There you go. We'll get all that confirmed with both parties there, and let everybody know just how it has finished this season, how it has finished this evening, and hopefully we'll be speaking to a couple of these drivers tonight as well to get their thoughts and feelings. But been a great season, hasn't it, Jimmy?
Sorry, just watching Joseph Lopez there, giving us all a good view on the stream as he crosses the line there in 10th place. But yeah, what a season! And I'll read out the finishing order for you here, and then we will go into the championship points. So, winning the race, leading the way in the pros and overall on track, Jack Veazey getting first place, followed by Paul Brown and Lee Martin are your top three overall and top three in the pros. We have Rick Wishon in fourth, Andrea Magli in fifth. In sixth place, but leading the way in the AMS, we have Phil Giles, Denan Bronze in second in the AMS, Rob Barber in third in the AMS. Then we have Casper Roost behind them, Joseph Lopez behind him, and John Johnson rounding out your 11 drivers on track this evening.
There we go. So that is how it finishes off for this evening, and that is how it finishes off for this season. Right, Jimmy, right. It is that time. We are going to announce how our championship has indeed finished. I tell you what, I'll take the pros, you take the AMs. Do you want to go first or second?
I'll uh I'll let you go first, announce our overall winner in the pros, and then I'll take the AMs afterwards.
All righty then. So I will announce our championship leader and winner of the season for the pros, and that is, of course, Lee Martin. He has won this season's championship with Andrea Maglai coming in P2 and Jack Veazey coming in P3. So congratulations to Lee Martin in the pros for a fantastic race this evening and a fantastic win this season. Jimmy, would you like to let everybody know the AMs?
Yep, and congratulations again to Lee Martin for winning the Pro Championship. But yes, leading the way in the AMs, our winner of the season is Robert Barber, followed by Joseph Lopez, so close on the points behind him, got second place, and Casper Roost is your third place of the season. I mean, phenomenal job all around, but congratulations again to Robert Barber for getting that winning position in the season.
No, congratulations to Rob Barber there in the AMs and again to Lee Martin in the pros there for winning both of their leagues respectively this season. Hopefully, we'll be chatting to both of them in just a moment's time. But Jimmy, shall we go and talk to some of these drivers and see how some of these podium championship drivers got on this evening?
Yep, let's bring him in and have a little chat.
There you go. I'll let you have a pick, Jimmy. Who would you like to go for first? And I think I know the answer for this one.
It's got to be Lee Martin, our winner in the pros. Got to bring him in here.
Of course it is. We're going to speak to him right now. We're going to bring in our P1 overall champion for this evening, Lee Martin. Good evening. Congratulations. How are you doing, sir?
Terrific, gentlemen. That we made that a nail biter, didn't we? What a terrific run.
Absolutely great racing out there tonight, mate. And again, champion for this season in the pros. Congratulations, my mate. How you feeling about that P1 overall?
Oh, no kidding. Well, that is a fantastic surprise, and happy to have it. Although, again, I think VZ put on a clinic today. I was trying to stay close enough to learn something from him, but man, that guy is fast.
Hey, look, we all know how fast Jack Veazey is, so if you can learn something off of him, absolutely do it. Look, Jack was just out of there on the points. He finished P3 overall in the championship. Andrea finished in P2, and he didn't have the best of races in that second one. So that really did get you along there to claim that championship once and for all. You had a great grip on it from the first race. You had a great grip on it coming into this evening's race, mate. So, no, congratulations again. You are our P1 overall championship winner here this evening for the season.
Well, that is a terrific and welcome surprise. We've sure made it interesting after that first race. That just did not go well, but again, amazing driving by everybody. Terrific group of gentlemen to be racing with. This was a heck of a season, and I have appreciated every one of the broadcasts. Thank you all for making this happen. Amazing, amazing fun.
No, thank you very much. And hopefully we'll be seeing you in a couple of weeks for the start of the new season.
Sounds like a plan. Look forward to seeing you then.
There you go, my man. Look, congratulations again. Before we let you go, anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
As always, you, Connor, for hosting this, and all of the drivers. Just absolutely great time. Appreciated the sportsmanship. Appreciated that. And once again, to my beautiful wife and mom who are watching and having a great time.
No, congratulations again, and good evening to each and every single one of those. Look, you go get yourself relaxed and rested, mate, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Congratulations again.
Cheers.
There you go. Great to speak to our P1 in the pros there, Jimmy. But
Yeah,
shall we
phenomenal,
speak?
phenomenal work from him. But yep,
No,
I know what you're
no,
going to say.
absolutely.
Let's
Shall
bring
we
in.
speak to our P1 in the AMS for this season? We'll bring him in right now. So good evening and congratulations on the P1 in the AMS for this season, Mr. Robert Barber. Good evening, sir. How are you feeling? Hello, Rob. Can you hear us?
Might have a
Might be having
slight
a few.
technical issue there.
Might
Might
be a
have
couple
to.
of technical issues. We'll try and get him in here again in just a moment's time, Jimmy. But is Andrea around for us this evening? Shall we get Andrea in here?
Yeah, let's just pull him in. Let's see if he can see what he has to say for himself.
Andrea, good evening, my man. How are you doing this evening? P2 in the championship. You just missed out. How are you doing this evening, sir?
Hello, guys. Hello, hello. Yeah, very good, very good. And you?
We are very, very well, mate. Very, very well. Some great racing this evening from you. You got driver of the day. in class this evening. But no,
Yeah,
P2 in the
thank you.
championships. No, you're very welcome. P2 in the championship overall, just missing out, my mate. How you feeling about it all?
Yeah, I mean, it was really interesting. We had some nice battles all the way through the season. He deserves it very, very, very much. He showed it today. He had a really difficult race one, but on race two, he was able to capitalize on the starting position. So congrats to him. Yeah, very, very happy overall how the season went.
No, it was a great season, my mate. Great season. Hopefully, we're going to see you in a couple of weeks for the start of the new one.
I will have to go to Connor to see if he has the calendar. I will quickly have to check if the viabilities match, because it was really a blast. It was a pleasure to race with you guys. All the organization behind that. It's always a pleasure to hear you. Also, thank you for the broadcast.
Thank you.
It's really not nothing. It gives so much to us. I mean, we like so much to see what you thought about the moves, what you're saying about what happened to the race. It's really always nice to go back and listen what you said. So really, thank you for the organization and the broadcasting.
Oh, well, thank you very much from myself, Jim, of course, and Connor as well behind the scenes, who no one gets to hear. But no, thank you. That's really nice to hear. We love bringing you guys the action each and every single week for the viewers at home and for you
Mhm.
guys to watch back as well, my mate. You've gave us some great racing this season and this evening. But look, listen, P2 just missed out. We'll see if we can see you next season, see what you can do, see if you can improve on that. But for now, my mate, before we let you go, apart from us, thank you again for that one. Is there anyone else you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to for the last time this
Yeah,
season?
Yeah, a big shout out to DDCP. that's my karting. We do Sordi World Series rental kart championship, and they should
Ah,
be listening. I said that I will say give a shout out. If they don't, I will know because they wouldn't know that I give the shout out, and I will shout out that in the group. Yeah, and
well.
obviously you once again still. Yeah.
Ah, thank you. Andrea, me and you need a chat though. If you're a carter, I'm a carter as well. So we'll have a chat sometime about that one. But look, no, mate, look, we'll let you go for this evening. You have a good one, and we shall hopefully catch you next season long.
Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, I'll see about that. I'm thinking about it. Once again, I'll go to Connor and see if the calendar matches the next few weeks. But it was a blast, a pleasure, and yeah, see you very very soon. Thank you,
We shall
guys.
see you later, mate. Have a good one. Bye now.
Bye bye.
There you go. There you go. Always good to speak to Andrea. Such a fun and energetic kind of guy. I get that feeling from him there.
Yeah, it really is. But I think we should bring in our second place in the AMS as well. Bring in Mr. Joseph Lopez. I believe Robert Barber might still be experiencing technical issues, so we'll have to try again a bit later see if we can speak to him. But Joseph Lopez.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir. Congratulations on the P2 for the season. Just missing out behind Rob Barber there by only a
Yeah.
few points. How did this evening go for you? First of all,
Could have been better. I kind of botched the second race. I didn't serve my slowdown in time. So,
I wondered what happened with you there. It's always best to
yeah.
get that done as soon as you can. I find.
Yeah, I know. I don't always try and push it, but I looked up and saw I had like 0.1 seconds to go, so I thought, okay, it's pretty much done. And then I looked back up and it was
There you
way
go.
way messed
Yeah.
up. So,
Well, these things happen, mate, and you live and you learn, don't you? But no, P2 in the championship, mate. Again, just missing out. I don't know if you've seen the points yet, but you were what 7 points off of P1, so it was
uh,
so close, my mate. You were very close, and you've given us some great racing this season. So from us here at Trackside, I'd like to say thank you for some great racing.
yeah, thank you. Congratulations to Robert. You did a good job.
There you go,
A
mate.
lot of fun.
Look, we don't like to keep you guys for too long. So before we let you go, anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
Just shout out to all the normal people, my wife, my dog, and everybody, and you guys.
Ah, there you go. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Joseph. And hopefully we'll catch you in a couple of weeks on the 21st, maybe for the new season.
Absolutely.
What I love to hear. We'll see you in a couple of weeks, mate. You have a great break, all right?
All right, you too.
See you later, mate. There you go, Jimmy. Now, I think Rob is still having some technical issues at the moment, if I'm
But
if I'm correct.
yeah, but we could always try and bring in maybe one of our third place of the season. Who have we got left in the waiting room? We've
Well,
got.
I tell you what, someone who I absolutely love speaking to because he's such a ball of energy. Should we get Casper Roosted here?
That's who I was just about to say. Let's bring him in here and give him a little chat.
Let's speak to Casper. Casper, good evening. P3 in the championships, my mate. P4 in the race here to finish us off. How are you doing this evening, sir? Oh, don't tell me we can't speak to Casper either.
Oh, two people technical
Oh
issues.
no,
Oh,
it
oh,
went out.
oh.
No,
We got him. We got him. We
it
got
was
him,
just a bit of a
Casper.
delay.
Good evening. How are you doing, mate?
Better than I figured I would because I didn't think I was going to be able to race today.
Ah, there you go. So that's already a win in my book. How do you think it went this evening?
First race was more about trying to figure out where I'm supposed to be on track, and then second race was really great the first 5 laps, and then I just couldn't catch up.
Yeah, it really pulled away from you in front there, Phil, Denand, and Robbie ahead of you. It was just so hard for you to catch up. There was so much gap there, but no, you still gave us some great racing this evening. And indeed, Casper, as always, you gave us some great racing this season. So no, congratulations on the P3 overall. Just missing out there. So be interesting to see what you can do next season because I assume you're going to be back with us in a couple of weeks. Am I right?
Pretty sure, yeah, because I just looked at the track list, and there aren't too many that I need to buy, so I'm probably going to be there next season as well.
Ah, Casper, it's what I love to hear. It's always good having you out there on track and in the booth with us as well at the end of these races.
Yeah, it's even better when I'm finishing on the podium.
No, there you go, my mate. There you go. Well, you got the P3 overall this season, so take that as a podium finish, my mate. So no, congratulations. But look, you know we don't like to keep you guys after a race for too long. So anyone you want to say thank you to or give a shout out to?
Probably say thank you to my mom and stepfather for helping me moving my monitor, so I actually had a monitor to race on, and also thanks to of course I'm blanking, Joe and Andrea, and also Lee Martin for telling me that I could maybe try and hotspot the internet, so I was able to race because I don't have working internet at the moment.
Ah, well, thank you to all of those people for helping you get set up so you can race this evening.
Definitely.
There you go, Casper. Look, we'll catch you in a couple of weeks, my mate. So you have a good break and we'll see you then, all right?
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye bye, mate. Right. Sadly, I don't think we're going to be able to speak to Rob Barber. So he seems to be having real technical issues. I'll tell you what, Jimmy, we have got one other person. But before we get Paul Brown in here, great race this evening towards the end there, especially in that second race. What a race. Well, congratulations again to Rob Barber, our championship winner in the AMS this season. Real shame we can't speak to him, isn't it, Jim?
Yeah, what a shame we couldn't hear from him at the end there. But yeah, congratulations again on getting that P1. Fantastically done, and same with Lee Martin as well. Well done to both of them for getting the P1 in the championship. But yeah, let's bring in Paul Brown and let's give him a little chat.
Yeah, we'll speak to Paul Brown. So he finished off P2 in our second race this evening, led it for most of it. Paul, good evening. How are you doing, sir? Congratulations this evening, P2 in the race, and you held on to that P1 for quite a long time before Jack caught up.
Yeah, evening. Yeah, I feel pretty good. I'm not a big fan of Navarra at all. Never been quick here.
Really?
So yeah, so I'm happy to get P2. And the thing is, once Jack catches up with you, it's very difficult to keep him behind. So I was quite happy to just claim P2.
Yeah, Jack is really, really quick. And look, you led for quite a lot of that second race there. And it's kind of one of them. You don't like to kind of write people off, but with Jack, and there is some others as well, it's a little bit inevitable. It's a bit of a Thanos kind of thing, isn't it? Like you see him coming
Yeah,
and you just know it's a matter of time, really.
yeah.
So
It's one of those things. Like I got a good start, and then I was just trying to be as consistent as possible because I know that there's a lot of guys quicker than me behind. So thought just I won 53s and just see where it gets me. So yeah, I was happy with P2.
no, well, you had a really good start to the race, like you said. You got P1 just before the first corner. We can just see it on screen right now. You got yourself ahead of John Johnson there in P2. currently
Yeah.
there behind you. But no, it was a great start from you. But like I said, Jack is kind of just one of those. You just know it's going to happen. How long it's going to happen
Yeah.
it's just the question you've got to say to yourself. But no, mate, you had a great race this evening, and you've given us a great season of racing as well. You did get driver of
Thank
the
you.
day from your daughter, of course,
Yeah.
and she gave you
Oh,
driver of the day for the season as well. So congratulations there.
excellent. I think I've won that twice, so I think we know who the real winner is here.
There you go. There you go. Take the wins that you can.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go, Paul. Look, I don't like to keep you guys for too long after a racing evening, but hopefully we'll catch you in a couple of weeks on the 21st. Yeah.
Hopefully, my work rota might not be too kind to me, but I'll play it by ear.
All right. Well, we'll have to see what happens there. But Paul, hopefully we will see you next season long. But before we let you
Yeah.
go, anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to for the last time this season?
Yeah. So you guys for the broadcast again, and Connor for organising it. All the guys, the Super Clean Racing for 8 weeks, and then final shout out for my daughter Casey sat behind me, and my wife Jem, who's also in the room tonight.
Ah, very nice to hear. And hopefully we will see you in a couple of weeks, my man. But for now, I
Yeah.
love you and leave you and let you get going.
Yeah.
Congratulations again,
Thanks.
Steve.
Cheers, both.
Goodbye, mate.
See ya.
See you later. There you go. Brilliant end to the season there, Jim, and a great bunch of guys. And it just goes to show when we get to speak to them how nice they all are indeed.
Yeah, I don't think there's a bad egg in the bunch, is there?
No, and it's like what we like to do. We said it at the start of the season, we've said it all the way through. Clean, fair, hard racing has to be the way forward. And that's what we get each and every single week here in the Tanzo Racing Group and what we get here from these bunch of drivers. So congratulations to all of those out there tonight and who have joined us throughout the season. But Jimmy, sadly, it's that time. It is going to have to be the checkered flag from us here this evening. Don't forget though, we are back tomorrow night starting the GT3 season 12. So join us at 7:45. But for tonight, for the GR86s and us here at Navarra, it is the checkered flag and us here from Trackside Broadcasting. I just want to say thank you to every single one of you this season who has joined us, who has raced with us, Jimmy, Connor, who have helped me bring all this together, and so what we can bring you guys each and every single week. I want to say thank you to the Tanzo Racing Group again for having us, and to our sponsors Valhalla and us here Trackside. Look, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure, and we will hopefully catch you all next season. Jimmy, thank you as always for sitting next to me each and every single week. That's about it from me. Before I make everybody blush, Jimmy, any final words this season?
Yeah, thank you, Gaz. And what a season it has been. Over the course of the championship, we've seen incredible skill, crazy close competition, and some truly unforgettable moments for these drivers. Week after week, everyone's been putting on a fantastic show for us, giving us really intense battles, bold overtakes, and racing that has been super competitive. And like we always like to say, maintaining a huge amount of respect for each other on track. Seeing drivers give each other mere millimeters of space while pushing themselves and the cars to the absolute limit has been a privilege to watch and an even greater privilege to broadcast. Before we sign off, though, I just want to thank the Tanzo Racing Group. Huge thank you to them for hosting us this season, and thank you to Valhalla Liveries and us here at Trackside Broadcasting for sponsoring this season. And finally, thank you to everyone at home for being here and supporting your favorite drivers, just pushing them along for this whole season. And make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel as well so you don't miss any future races. Make sure not to miss the next season when it starts up again in a few weeks' time. Have a great week, everybody, and we shall catch you all in the next one. Good night.